Elon Musk is often described in numbers: 100 billion, 300 billion, 7 or 800 billion, even a trillion. The number moves with the market. But the number isn't the story, because most of that wealth isn't cash. It's not sitting doing nothing. It isn't static. It's positioned, pledged, tied to decisions that reshaped companies and industries, and occasionally the narrative around them. At first glance, the wealth looks straightforward: equity, ownership, market value. But follow the sequence of the major moves, acquisitions, collateralized shares, and structural shifts, and you'll see a different picture. Individually, each decision appears tactical. Together, they suggest something more deliberate. This isn't about what Elon Musk owns. It's about what sits behind it. Most of Elon's wealth is tied to equity, mainly Tesla, a company he joined early and eventually led. Over time, his ownership stake became the foundation of his net worth. Then SpaceX, privately held, valuations rising with each funding round. Later, the acquisition of Twitter, now X, a deal valued around $44 billion, financed through a combination of equity, bank debt, and margin-backed loans secured by pledged Tesla shares. When Tesla's valuation surged, so did borrowing capacity. When volatility increased, so did exposure. From the outside, this looks like scale. Build companies, hold stock, watch valuations soar. But equity is not liquidity, and ownership not flexibility. For years, the wealth appreciated with the market, starting with compensation packages. In 2018, a performance-based Tesla pay plan granted stock options tied to aggressive market cap milestones. As those milestones were hit, option exercises translated into tens of billions in paper value, wealth expanding with valuation. There were also option grants, stock surges, and more. Then something shifted. Shares were pledged as collateral. At one point, SEC filings showed Tesla shares worth tens of billions pledged against personal loans. Not sold, pledged. Loans were secured against equity. Large positions used to finance even larger moves. When Tesla's valuation surged, so did borrowing capacity. When volatility increased, so did exposure. Individually, these mechanisms are legal, common among founders with concentrated holdings. But at various points, a significant portion of Elon's net worth was tied to a single company's stock, which means valuation swings were not theoretical. They were structural, but the scale matters, timing matters, because pledged equity links valuation to leverage, and leverage changes what is possible. Check out the inflection points: stock surges, public share sales. Between 2021 and 2022, billions of dollars in Tesla stock were sold, some to cover taxes, some to fund acquisition commitments, then add collateralized borrowing and major acquisitions. Line them up and a pattern emerges. Equity becomes leverage. Leverage enables expansion. Expansion reshapes influence. Influence reshapes narrative. None of this is hidden. It's disclosed, structured, engineered within market rules. But when wealth is structured this way, volatility is no longer cosmetic. It affects borrowing power, negotiating leverage, strategic flexibility. A headline can move valuation. Valuation can affect collateral. Collateral can affect options. And options shape decisions. The public sees only what it's supposed to see: numbers, not the structure's response to pressure. Over time, the wealth compounds. Stock appreciation, private valuations, capital events. On paper, the number skyrockets. But paper is only one layer. Because when equity is pledged, it becomes collateral. When collateral is used, it becomes leverage, and leverage is directional. It concentrates risk, control, outcomes. From a distance, it looks like enormous wealth. Up close, it looks like a system. And systems don't just grow. They adapt, protect their stability, and expand their reach. Again, the public sees valuation only, a number rising or falling. But that's only the surface. The underlying structure reveals itself in the sequence. When shares are pledged, when equity becomes collateral, when collateral becomes leverage. Not in the headlines, but in the mechanism. The number is easily visible for a reason. The design, not so easy to see, unless you know where to look. This is the part rarely explained. Behind Elon's wealth, it's not just ownership, it's structure.